Thank you everyone for joining this morning on July 10th. And today we'll be covering the latter part of the discussion of being loan ready, as well as the technical assistance introduction between both the Dineh Chamber side and the Change Lab side. And if we have time, we'll go through the RBDOs and how all of those entities will participate in providing technical assistance specifically for the Navajo Small Business Credit Initiative. As you are aware, our NSBCI Virtual Information Sessions are a collaboration between the Division of Economic Development, Change Labs, and Dineh Chamber of Commerce to provide updates and resources, answers to questions that come through these info sessions, and provide more clarity as we are daily and continually making updates to our program design, our program plan and implementation. So those are real-time changes that occur within this team, but also with the program entirely. And we are using this weekly time and session to keep everybody in the loop as much as we can. And as we go along each week, we have discussions. We're learning about how we can change our approach to educate our business communities, the public, and eventually, very soon, more of our leadership will be learning about NSBCI as we get closer and closer to launch. So today is, again, reintroducing the partners that are involved. Quick recap of what we discussed on June 26th. The loan readiness and technical assistance component is the bulk of our discussion today. And then, of course, we'll have question and answers section at the end of the hour. Please, while we talk, go ahead and send your questions in the chat box. And also at the end of the hour, you can ask everybody here on the partnering team these questions yourself if you'd like. And that's going to be helpful to us. And we hope we can help you with understanding the Navajo Small Business Credit Initiative also. Before we go forward, all of our information is still in the works to be posted and regularly updated on the nsbci.org website. All of our partners will be connected to this website, and links and helpful resources will also be on these pages, or in these landing pages, whatever you call them. And that's still in development. It's quite a complex process as we learn about the domain stuff and reorganizing the management of this website with collaboration between DED's marketing specialist, our PIO, as well as the Change Labs team and the Dineh Chamber team. So still working on it, and I think it's going to be really, really good to take this time and make sure we get these this part of the website designed efficiently to make sure that's not creating more confusion. So that's still in the works. We have our Navajo Nation Division of Economic Development as the Navajo NSBCI implementing entity for the whole program. And under the Division of Economic Development, we'll be working with the regional business development offices to also implement and help share resources for this program, these loan programs. And the Division of Economic Development is the oversight for what programs Change Labs does with the NSBCI funds, and of course the technical assistance implementation from the Dineh Chamber of Commerce. So without partnering entities like everybody here on the screen, this program wouldn't be possible, and it continues to demand the best collaboration and that we are in communication and collaborating with each other to implement this program. So today we have from the division myself. My name is Alicia Murphy. I am the economist with the Division of Economic Development. And we have Jeremy Buckinghorse from the Eastern Regional Business Development Office joining us on this session. And Change Labs, go ahead, Svarsky and Christine, introduce yourselves.
Yes, hello, I'm Svarsky Little. I am the leader of commercial credit and operations here at Change Labs, and dealing with the loan guarantee and the loan participation programs, which were discussed in previous presentations on NSBCI, and also working with all of our lenders here at Change Labs. And so once we have everything going, or at least once we have all of our agreements ready to go, we'll release that information to everyone as we move forward. And I'll hand it over to.
Hello, I'm Christine Laughter. I am the director of the Kinship Lending Program. So we're really excited that we are one of the partners with the Small Business Credit Initiative with the Navajo Nation. So we are looking forward to launching our program shortly. And within the Kinship Lending Program, we'll be lending up to $50,000 to entrepreneurs. And we do have some policy guidelines that we have and we will be sharing with you as we go through this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Change Labs. From the Dineh Chamber of Commerce, we have Mr. Tony Hale. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, been J. Tony Hale and J. Taban Shlondo, she much as Chin, Kiana Dish Che Ado Torachidi. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tony Hale. I am the treasurer for the Dineh Chamber of Commerce, and we are entitled with the to perform the technical assistance to help the potential borrowers become loan ready. So we look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, everyone. So those are our partners and have been a part of the process for a very long time. Like I said, collaborating and making sure that we have created a program that's not too complicated. But so this is a new program for Navajo Nation in this type of collaboration with both our nonprofit and our regional business development offices, but as well as taking treasury money and turning it into this, or taking this treasury money that comes in the form of loans, creating loan programs from the Navajo Nation to our Navajo businesses. So the collaboration and all of the experience in this room, in this virtual room, is essential. This is not updated, but we did follow in our previous sessions. We covered how these funds came from the Treasury Department. Back in 2012, it didn't include tribal governments, and then 2021, it allowed for tribal governments to be a jurisdiction to apply for these funds. Navajo Nation was allocated this money. You can go to the previous episodes on YouTube to learn more about that history and that process and how the fundings came to Navajo Nation. Now it's been a 3-year process of applying and getting approved and then getting the funding to Navajo Nation. So now we're at the stage where we're trying to finalize the implementation of officially launching the program. So please go to the YouTube, the Division of Economic YouTube channel to watch those episodes to learn more about those portions of the discussion we are building off of. So I won't go through these bullet points because I think we have a lot of stuff to cover today. And I am going to pass it off to Svarsky or Christine if you want to talk about this slide.
Yeah, let's see here. So The loan guarantee, so Change Labs is going to be doing like for all the components that are involved with NSBCI. We'll be involved with the loan guarantee program, the loan participation, as well as providing our own technical assistance for folks who come through the Change Labs network. And so the way we have loan guarantees broken out is that we have loans up to 50,000. And then for the kinship loan programs, if Christine just mentioned that earlier, as far as like what we're what the kinship program looks like as far as the loan amounts go up to, and then through one of our other lending partners, hopefully two, we will be offering loans up to 250,000 in the loan guarantee program. And then for loan participation, we have one lender we are working with to offer loan amounts up to $1 million. And so as you can see here, there are descriptions on what types of documentation and things that will be considered when our lenders and what our lenders would most likely be looking for during the application phase, or at least during application for these types of loan products. And so because we are working with various different lenders, we haven't really put that much specifics into exactly what they'll need. But we do have a website up, and we've listed out documentation requirements that we know each of those lenders will definitely need, and some of them are listed here, right here on this list. Technical assistance will be handled through the the entrepreneurial support programs. They're being run by Holly and Raquel. So if any of you are signed up with Change Labs on our social media platforms, you'll see that Raquel and Holly are usually posting about new, upcoming, or programming that's going to be available through their programs. And we have two set up this week, I think, for everyone who's interested in learning about business financing, or just what capital means for businesses. I think the two sessions they have set up this week will be beneficial for everyone who's interested in learning more, or at least getting a different kind of perspective on what that looks like. But this is more like the high level piece of this. And if you're interested in learning more about specific documentation requirements, or about your loan requests, definitely, and if they're inside of the ranges that I described, definitely reach out to me, because depending on what your situation is and what you're needing as far as for the business, we can definitely work on getting you to a point where where you're able to be to get into a space with these lenders, or at least to get those business needs met for whatever the requests might be needed for. And also for the kinship lending program with Christine, we both hold business coaching sessions every month, and they're listed under Change Labs, our website, the events page, and you'll see our what days we'll be having our sessions opened. And if you're interested in meeting with us, that's definitely a great place to start. Or if you're needing some coaching on learning about how what you need to do to get your business into a position to getting and attaining a loan product, definitely book some time with us. We both have commercial or business lending experience, or at least we've been a part of business, the commercial lending arena, or at least the industry, to provide the guidance that you need to get through to get your business through to the next levels, as far as those pieces are concerned. Was there anything else you wanted me to point out, Alicia?
No, that was great. I think what we also need to emphasize here is that this slide is a very generalized breakdown of the loan amounts and a list of what we anticipate our borrowers, if you're listening now and are learning about NSBCI, these are the things that you should essentially get prepared if you want to if you want to apply once the program is launched. For the loan guarantee amounts between 5,000 and 50,000, borrowers must produce at least a 3-year financial projection. Have the referrals, the monthly documentation of business expenses, depending on which specific amount this entity is going to apply for, between 5,000 and 50,000, collateral and credit will not be required. So that is a major, or that's at least a significant difference between this amount group and this amount group, and that, so on and so forth. So what applicants should be aware of is those documents that need to be will be asked for and required in this application process.
Yes.
A clear list of those documents we are working on with Navajo Nation's procurement process, as well as with the Treasury's requirements for these loans. And this section here for loan guarantee program will be with Change Labs, and what Sabarsky mentioned. So they Change Labs and DED work to have that understanding with their lenders that collateral and credit are not going to be a part of this process. And that's not unique, because Change Labs has already had this program in place. With SSBCI funds, it's expanding to more, I guess, is that safe to say, Brodsky?
Yeah.
And
we've expanded from 10,000 all the way to 50,000 with the NSBCIS.
Yeah. And then secondly, it's still a loan guarantee program, but for the amounts of 50,000 to 20 million, the traditional loan documentation will have to be included. At this point, it's credit checks and collateral may be required. That is still a conversation with financial entities that we are currently onboarding, as well as taking into account all of the Treasury requirements that we have to follow with this loan amount that was in our application, that is in their Treasury guidelines. So that's going to be what we hope our potential applicants listening now, listening later, understand, that you can start getting things ready. It's going to be a 8 to 10 year program. So if you don't have these documents but can start working on them today for either of these two amounts for loan guarantee program, you can start doing that. And what we talk about later in this hour is the technical assistance to get you loan ready. Maybe you don't know, or maybe it's unclear what documentation these traditional loan, what falls under the category of traditional loan. So that's where we're opening the opportunity to ask questions here, and with Change Labs on the line, as well as Dineh Chamber of Commerce, your team members there have experience in taking traditional loans outside of the nation, right? Because that's more common. But now coming to the nation, we can start to educate that component into NSBCI. For the loan participation program,
Alicia.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but one thing I do want to share with everyone here is the Change Labs Kinship Lending Program. What sets us apart from the traditional banks is although we do not require collateral or check credit, we are a relationship-based lending program. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what a relationship-based lending program is, it is about us getting to know who the borrower is. So Vosky did mention that we do have the business coaching sessions. In addition to that, we do have our financial education program that each borrower will participate in. And that gives us an opportunity to get to know who the borrower is, what their goals are, what they have been doing with their business in the last 12 months, because a business does have to be in operation to apply for this loan with us. And so we do build that relationship with the borrowers. Any of you that are familiar with Change Labs, that's what Change Labs is all about. You know, I have to say that we have great relationships with all of our participants, people who are in our incubator program, people who are in our kinship lending program. We get to know them, they get to know us, they become part of our Change Labs family. And so that is very important for entrepreneurs, especially when we're talking about, you know, Navajo Nation based businesses. You know, we're a small community, but then we also have a lot of support within that community. So I wanted to share that. Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you, Christine. That's perfect. And I think what's going to be helpful too is the next slide, and making sure we do I guess explain that, you know, some of these services and a lot of these services are existing with both, of course, with Change Labs, but also with our regional business development offices and the business training component, where we have scheduled in some of our RBDOs some business classes, some training to help with the entrepreneurs, at least at the regional level, access some resources or learn about other opportunities. And SSBCI or Navajo Small Business Credit Initiative is going to be another piece of that. So that's what this program is doing, is pulling all those resources and all of those existing and expanding it to include this really unique opportunity here for NSBCI. So thank you for that, Christine and Vosky. And I was just going to say, for the loan participation program, we have characterized it in our sessions prior that the loan participation is sort of like the larger amounts of loans, and this is going to be up to $20 million. And both Change Labs and DED will have a loan participation program. And with this one, the general idea of what applicants can prepare for, at least understand that they must submit. It's the same traditional loan documentation, financial statements, business information documents, expenditures and credit history. All of those things are going to be required for that amount of money. So as I've said before in the beginning, a lot of these things are going to be finalized very soon. These discussions happen at the legislative level, including DOJ, OOC, our internal DED team. So what we have on the screen is what we can share now, and more information is going to come up soon to be very specific to the not only the program amounts, but also to Change Labs' requirements, and what Christine mentioned about the kinship lending, the relationship building, the classes that you're going to be required to take, versus when you come to DED, what are our specific requirements, and all to make sure that the loan that you are taking for your business is successful for you as a business owner, but also successful for the entire program, so that we can continue to do and implement these types of opportunities for Navajo small businesses and entrepreneurs. Anything else to add here, Dineh Chamber, or anything?
No, you're good.
Cool. Okay, so all of those lead to what we want to talk about for the rest of the hour is our technical assistance. Oh, I guess our slides are out of order. So I'll skip through these. Always look for our logo. Our partners will have the information on their websites, as well as the nsbci.org website. which is going to look like this. It'll be updated very soon. Oh, let me see. I gotta stop sharing for a second and find the slides. Anybody have anything else to add while I look for these slides?
For the kinship application for the program, so the requirement that we're putting, or at least that is for to get into the program, is for the business to be in operation for at least 1 year. And so if your business has been in operation for less than that time, or you're just still in the idea phase, connect with someone here at Change Lab so we can begin, kind of moving you through the processes and kind of learning more about how to run your business, and attending our, either being a part of the idea validation, programs that they have, or at least maybe even the incubator, things like that, so we can start to get you into a position where you can apply for kinship, programs sometime in the future. But because we want to have people, even though you might not qualify today, it doesn't mean you might qualify down the road. So when Alicia mentioned, getting in contact with us or technical assistance, and kind of learning about what you need to do to get yourself into a better position, to understand what you need, that's going to be really important, especially when we look at the duration of the programming itself. Alicia mentioned 8 to 10 years, and so there's still time for people to start developing those ideas. Even if you're in the idea phase, let's get you connected with our team. Let's start talking through what those ideas are, and building out a whole plan for that, and getting getting your idea off the ground.
Thank you, Swarovski. Melanie, you have your hand up.
Yes, I've got actually 2 questions. I'm not sure if this was asked before, or if it was answered before, but if our business is in the kinship program right now, and upon completion of the session, which is currently in progress, that $50,000 we apply for at the end, does that disqualify us? Is it separate from the NSBCI, or is it the same program? Can you apply for both, or is it one or the other?
If you're in current programming right now with Change Labs, it's most likely going to be a separate program, the microloan program, and that's separate from NSBCI. So you would still have to apply for the next cohort. We're still going to have the same cohorts, a lot of the same structure that we've had with the microloan programming. But as far as applying and the requirements are going to be different, as far as like for how to get into the into the NSBCI programs. But that does take, and if you want to learn more about those in detail and where your business is at, definitely schedule a session with either me or with Christine.
Okay. And my second question is, because I have 2 different businesses, one of them's located off the reservation. Would we, for that business, even though it's Navajo owned and operated, would that can we apply for the NSBCI, or do we have to go to the state's SSBCI?
It sounds like you should be able to still apply for it. If it's Navajo owned, then it would qualify for our for this program.
Okay, perfect. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you for those questions. And that's correct. If you are off reservation and you are Navajo owned, you are eligible to apply for NSBCI. So that is going to be helpful for, we know it's going to be helpful for a lot of folks. So thank you for that, Melanie and Bosky. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Tony Hale to talk about the Dineh Chamber of Commerce technical assistance.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, the Dineh Chamber of Commerce is given the opportunity to assist small businesses that are on the Navajo Nation or off the Navajo Nation, as long as they're Navajo owned, in becoming loan ready. So, of course, technical assistance is a broad kind of word that we can work with. There are a few categories that we need to cover. Guidelines from the Treasury Department. Those are accounting, legal, and auditing. And these are to make sure that in providing the technical assistance to the potential borrowers, that they are in compliance with what needs to happen in order for them to qualify for a loan and even get the loan. So the Dineh Chamber of Commerce, we are located, our main office is located in Shiprock at the moment. And we have a working board. We have 9 members on the board that are qualified in every manner of business. So we also, as the Dineh Chamber of Commerce, under the grant, we were seeking out and have found CPAs and attorneys to assist us when it's necessary. And part of the monies that are bringing into Dineh Chamber of Commerce will assist us to pay for their services. So be rest assured that all of the technical assistance that we provide will be top notch. So, and I myself, and of course, a few members of the board, including our president, Marvina Pete, she and I will work steadily to make sure that all the applicants are ready, because we have the experience. I myself, as a business owner, I've got 7 different businesses at this time and a couple of nonprofits, but I have applied and have been awarded loans from various places. So I'm very familiar with the process. I'm familiar with providing assistance to businesses, because that's one of my businesses is business consulting, and providing that assistance to them in order for them to qualify for loans. And Marvina, our president of the Dineh Chamber of Commerce, she actually is coming from the banking industry, so she is very familiar with that process as well. And so we look at it as tiers. First, we got to get the business that you come forth with. We got to make sure that you're in compliance with either state, make sure your taxes are state or the Navajo Nation, make sure your taxes are in order, and basically making sure that your business is ready to apply. And through the discussions that we've had with the other partners, it basically is we're going to point you in the direction according to the amount that you desire. Of course, you saw in the few slides before, anything from 5,000 to 50,000, even up to 250,000, we can go with Change Labs, and maybe their kinship program, or with one of their other programs that they'll implement with the NSBCI funds and their relationships with their lenders. If you want something more in the millions, all the way up to 20 million, then we would point you in the direction of the Division of Economic Development, and we would work with their lending partners in order to get you qualified. So we will first implement a pre-qualification sheet, which we will determine which avenue to best approach, and then we can assist you in that. Like I said, first would be compliance, making sure that your business is ready to move forward, and also that you meet the qualifications that were set forth, one being, of course, Navajo owned. And then moving forward with that process, we can make sure that all the paperwork is in order. before we even apply. And even go as far as assisting you with your business plan, pro formas if needed, and continue on from there. So we will work closely with the DED and the RBDOs. We will also work with Change Labs. Change Labs, they provide a lot of their own technical assistance, but of course, when we bring people to them, we can assist or partner with them in getting the applicant's loan ready. I hope I didn't forget anything. Felicia, is there anything else you wanted me to discuss?
No, you covered a lot, and I think this is very helpful. And my only thought is that, and you mentioned this too, is we've covered the flow of the applicant process in a previous session that's recorded and posted on YouTube. But what this technical assistance and how you access it, and what Tony mentioned, is the pre-qualification or the pre-application for NSBCI, like overall. This is one pre-application that we're developing. That pre-application will help us sort of triage each applicant. If they're absolutely loan ready, then they'll be directed to either Change Labs or DED for whatever amount that you're asking for. But if you're missing documentation, if you have questions and need help in the technical assistance realm, then that pre-application will allow our team to direct you to technical assistance. So while we have Change Labs as pre-existing technical assistance and loan programs, and we have Dineh Chamber of Commerce with all of their experience and knowledge, but the applicant will only fill out one pre-application form to get the ball start rolling. So that'll be helpful for all of our team members here to understand, where are we meeting our borrowers. This pre-application will also show us the gaps that we might have in providing these services. So that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing when this program starts, is that single pre-application or pre-qualification form that will help our borrowers. We want to eliminate the hurdles, we want to eliminate the confusion as much as possible, but we have to start somewhere with these checklists and eligibility criteria and qualifications. So that pre-application will be the first step to the whole process. Anything Change Labs you want to add right now? Because the next couple of slides are going to be Change Labs' resources. And I think, but for now, do you have anything else to add?
I would like to say a couple more things.
Okay.
We will be developing a video series, which will, we'll start building it as we go along. Which will first, of course, the compliance portion, we'll get through that, and then the actual documents that are needed, and pulling those documents and doing a video series on those, like a pro forma or a business plan, executive summary, anything that's needed from documentation that is needed for the lenders. So we will build that series out here in the near future, just to highlight and make it easier for the potential borrowers to get the information that's needed.
Yeah, Alicia. Yes, to add a little bit more to this. So the way we kind of see, like the collaboration with Dineh Chamber with Change Labs is if we have folks who are interested in getting a loan, in one of the ranges with one of our lenders, who might, request for certain types of, documents that need to be produced, as far as, things that might be listed here. So the lender might ask for last year's, taxes for the business, or, they need to have audited financials for a certain period of time. And if the business doesn't have that ready to go, this is where Dineh Chamber could become, could come into the picture, as far as, being able to provide the assistance and getting someone connected to someone, someone in their network who provides that specific type of service to produce that specific document for the loan. And so, but not every loan is going to, going to be requiring some of these things. And so it's going to be, it's very much a very, like, it's going to be specific for, as far as like for how, depending on what you're applying for and where your business is at, and a lot of different other factors, what you'll need in, for your loan is going to be it's going to vary. It's really going to vary depending on the type of loan that you're requesting, and or at least the loan amount, what the loan will be used for, and where your business is at, a lot of different factors like that. And that's where it's crucial for anyone who's interested in learning about like what putting out there and connecting with someone here, on the team, with either me or Christine, and really talking through exactly what you're trying to do for the business. And once that's where the first step, I think it really is because we'll be able to describe at least what will be needed from you, or get you to the right person who can help you with that, specifically what you're trying to look for your business in different types of financing, or just capital in general, things like that. It's really gonna have it's starting I think the best starting place is to connect with us and to review all of the documents that we're putting out here, especially during these presentations, so they have a better idea of what to expect and what we're expecting from borrowers, and then beginning those conversations so that we can start somewhere and start moving you along through the process. And even if you think your business, like I think I mentioned this earlier, if you think your business is not currently qualified, as far as like for some of the documents required, it does take just like connecting with us and starting the conversation and addressing what exactly you need, and starting to get those things kind of worked through, and then working with with our team to really understand if there's anything else you might not have seen, or you might have not have noticed that you might need for this process. And that's where depending on where you're at, it's really gonna take individuals to really to reach out to us to learn what they need, and so we can start moving people through the processes. I think if you're looking at, if this is something you're seriously considering, start doing research today, and start connecting with us as soon as you can. These processes, depending on what you're applying for, they're not really quick, especially if you don't have all the documents you need. It does take time, for folks who are not necessarily, who don't necessarily have experience in business lending. But we are here to help, and the first step is really, is digesting as much of this information as you can, as well as reaching out to us to kind of, to gauge where you currently are and how we can help you move along through the process, and identifying what specific things are needed for your business, because every loan is going to be different, and there's going to be a lot of different documentation requirements as it comes to what you're specifically asking for. And so that's why it's important to start reaching out, so we can kind of hone in on exactly what is needed to move you along through the process.
Great, thank you for that. I also want to add too that going forward, well, actually, through this process of developing the program and design of a loan program for Navajo Nation with these SSBCI Treasury funds, we've learned that Navajo has the process, right? And the federal process of like checking the boxes of all of the eligibility requirements. Navajo Nation has another another list of boxes to check to make sure that we're in compliance. As Mr. Tony said, we have to always be in compliance with these types of funding and this type of loan program. So when we have those updates of maybe the pre-application is going to come out very soon, that'll be announced either from our social media, in emails to our businesses, or posted somewhere. But when we have that ready to go, we'll make that available as soon as possible to everybody interested. But I really like what Vasky said, that you can start doing research now, even though this program is not launched yet. We don't have a timeline yet, but you as a business can start doing this preparation now for your loan, if you're interested in something like that for your business, on or off the nation, Navajo owned business. So I also wanted to say that we started conversations with some of our offices, like the tax commission office, to host workshops to learn about the process for filing forms with tax commission, making sure that you're up to date and in compliance with them as well. Because if you are a business on the Navajo Nation and you offer products, goods, and services on the Navajo Nation, you have to be registered with the nation under tax commission as well. So that's going to be up and coming with the videos that Tony mentioned. Workshops will be scheduled to also talk about the process, like with other offices that'll be involved in this loan application. So that's it for this slide. I'm going to move to the next one. And this is Dineh Chamber.
Yes. I wanted to mention something real quick, Alicia, that the businesses that are registered with the Navajo Nation are the corporation, LLCs, S corps, C corps, nonprofit corporations. If you're a sole proprietor or an artisan, which a lot of artisans are, you don't necessarily have to be registered with the tribe, because they don't have a registration for the sole proprietor portion. So just as a footnote, don't be scared if you're an artist or a sole proprietor. Still come to us and we'll assist you through the process. Okay, we're on here at the Dineh Chamber of Commerce. We're going to have a Zoom meeting once a month, called Ask the Experts, in which we'll have some professionals to answer any questions that potential borrowers might have in regards to the NSBCI loan programs. They might be attorneys, they might be CPAs, they could also be some professionals within the NSBCI partnerships to address any questions that the borrowers may have. So that will be an info session that we will develop and we will continue to have with these ask the expert calls. We'll also have webinars and in-person trainings for the applicants that we will develop. And we will, like I said, our office is located in Shiprock. We'll probably start there. We are at the NTC incubator building there in Shiprock. So we'll have access to the conference area where we can present the in-person workshops and even the virtual workshops. But we will travel out through the nation to present and to offer assistance to potential borrowers in different areas of the nation, like Tuba City, Shiprock, Chinle, Crown Point. So we will post those on our website, as well as share it with Change Labs and the Division of Economic Development, so they could post it on their websites too. And of course, the content that we will share on the webinars will be recorded. Also, the Ask Your Experts calls, they will be recorded and will be available on the Dineh Chamber website. And we will also share the link with our partners at Change Labs and Dineh Chamber of Commerce. At the Dineh Chamber of Commerce, we want to assure everyone that we have the expertise. We have lined up the people that will be able to answer any questions that you may have as a result of trying to apply for the NSBCI loan funds. Melanie, I see your hand up. Is that from before?
Yes, I'm sorry, I'll take that off.
So let me let's see here. So well, I'll discuss some of the things that Change Labs is providing as far as financial literacy and technical assistance that's being offered through Change Labs. And it really is going to be quite a diverse kind of a, you know, grouping of information that we offer here. But depending on where your business is at, you know, a lot of this information is going to be I think it's going to be very informational, you know, and depending on what you're interested in, you know, learning, as well as where your business is at. You know, like I mentioned earlier, one of the things that our entrepreneurial support team, or at least entrepreneurial support programs, offers is the idea validator program, where if you just have a business idea, or at least a new business idea, and you're trying to, you know, see if the idea is, you know, if it's valid, if it's something worth pursuing, and just kind of more so just looking at the full aspects of what would be included and understanding, you know, going down that specific, you know, route for a business idea. You know, that's one of the things that we offer out of the entrepreneurial support programs. And so I'll just talk about them really first, and what some of the offerings that they have. One of the other ones is called Kickstart programs. Those programs, you'll see, you know, if you're connected to Change Labs through our network, or at least through online social media, you'll see how, you know, that some of these specific types of programs, or, you know, information sessions, what kind of offerings are being, you know, proposed. And so one of them, you know, one of the programming things that are offered is called Kickstart. And so that is kind of like the next step after the idea incubator, as far as, you know, learning about how to start the business, you know, learning about what business financials are, learning about different aspects of, you know, just basic business, starting your business or running the business, and just learning about different concepts of running a business, what they are. And so that's kind of where that's the Kickstart programs. And then there's also the incubator program. The incubator program is more so a one-on-one, very in-depth kind of a program that is offered here at Change Labs. And what that entails is, so the way that they have the application style of the program is they have an application period, and then they also, once they select certain applicants who are approved to participate in the program, they then go into they form into a cohort, and then go through the programming for the incubator. And I think right now it's currently set at 6 months. I'm not sure if they've shortened the time period for how long that program work goes, but it really the way they've structured it is more of a one-on-one, in-depth kind of a dive into running your business. And this is for businesses that have already, you know, been started, and they're really, you know, wanting to move, you know, the business along, and kind of get the full spectrum of different components that are involved with running a business. And so and the other pieces that are also part of entrepreneurial support is, I mentioned this earlier, business coaching sessions that are offered through our all of our members here, or at least the team here at Change Labs. And every Tuesday we have a business coach that does generalized coaching to the public in specific areas of business that are kind of our fortes, or these things that we emphasize in what we can assist with. And we have sessions every Tuesday, and if you're wanting to explore more about who, you know, what kinds of, you know, business coaches are, you know, here at Change Labs, and what you what might align with something that you're interested in learning more about, or at least talking to someone more about with um, all of our times, or at least the days for who is coaching, as well as the times are listed on our events page. So definitely check that out. We have a great variety of different, different coaching styles here at Change Labs. Like for me, it's mostly on, business, like business loan preparation, things like that. Learning about how to, you know, like your business financials and kind of, how to get your business ready for a business loan, identifying capital needs for the business, and um, just different things like that, startup phase where your business, how to get your business ready, in the beginning phases of the, for what needs to be done, things like that. And then we also have Holly, just to kind of like throw a different kind of a style out there. Holly specializes in marketing. And so if you're wanting to learn more about how marketing can apply, or at least be helpful for how you're running your business, Holly has a great background on marketing and can definitely help you with those aspects of the business. And so I think, that would be very beneficial for folks who want to kind of start somewhere and really gain a better understanding, and start engaging our network. So ESS provides that as well, or we call them ESS, short for Entrepreneurial Support Systems. And then we also offer, if you've applied and have have been admitted into our kinship lending program, we provide a financial education program. And so what that entails is mainly focusing on personal and business finances. And so for personal, we focus on, how to understand your credit report, why your credit report, is important, and ways to, to getting yourself into a better position, as it comes to your credit score and your credit report. What is it? Retirement planning. We have a specialist that comes in and talks to our members about how to plan for retirement and when to start thinking about those things and why it's important. Another piece on the business side of what we teach in financial education is learning about bookkeeping basics, how to, what thing how to understand what you need to do to do bookkeeping for your business. And then the next step after that would be introduction to accounting. And so we have an accountant who comes out to talk to our members about, understanding accounting and what needs to be done when you are trying to create financial statements, especially when you're trying to get ready for tax season. Taxes are very important when you're running your business. And so those are kind of the other financial, education programs that we have, that we provide here at Change Labs. Otherwise, we do invite professionals, in all types of business industries to come out and talk. Third parties who provide some of their expertise and knowledge and present to our members. And so that's kind of what I mentioned earlier, was we have someone presenting today and tomorrow, from that we've invited to come out and speak to our members about capital, what that means and the importance of that. And so some of the other things that we offer at Change Labs, other than just the regular programming, would be, we have our first physical space out in Tuba City. It's the Entrepreneurial Support Hub, eShip Hub. And if you've been there, you know where it's at. It's next to the chapter house. But if you haven't, definitely, stop by and see, what kind of things might be offered, or at least see how we can assist you there. If you need to have access to the internet, if you're on travel or something, or if you need to have a place to do, to think through some of your business ideas, and if you're close to there, that's definitely a location that we welcome people to come out to. We also host a lot of networking events there, and other, entrepreneurial, like, kind of engagement events there to the public. And so so if you see any of those events, we'd love to see you come out and visit with our and just kind of learn about how that space is used. And we also have our workshops, everything that we teach, you know, as far as any presentations that are done publicly, either by any of us members or team members here at Change Labs or through our third parties, all of those recordings are available online on YouTube. So, so if you're interested in kind of browsing through what we offer there, they're usually like at least an hour long. There are hour-long sessions there that talk about specific things. Like, one of them could be the importance of what a brand is and how you can get your brand started. You know, learning about taxes, how what you need to do to get yourself ready for tax season, things like that. And so everything that we that we present, or at least that we have out to the public, all of that is recorded, and we usually put them on YouTube. So if you look for Change Labs on YouTube, you'll find our channel there and all of the sessions that we offer through that platform. The other thing that we are also a part of is called Res Rising. So if you're a business that needs, or at least that is looking to be listed, somewhere on a platform that shows what your offerings are for your business, where your business is located, and how to connect with you, this is a great resource. So how it works is that it's kind of like Google in a sense, as far as like, that like there's a map and it shows like wherever all these businesses are. And if you're looking for someone in your network, to connect with as far as a business owner for something specific, like maybe a bakery, or maybe there's like some graphic design that needs to be done, or things like that, there's this platform called Res Rising is great, to not only put yourself on, on the network there, to be included and listed along all of these other Native American business owners, but also to connect with other people that are already listed there who might already be in your area, to connect with, and to build to help you build your business or make those connections on maybe even becoming partners on certain types of projects, or and just kind of building that environment or that ecosystem of business. And then lastly, the other online kind of a piece, or at least digital piece that we have is it's something called Build Navajo, and it's a digital tool, and it's designed to help specifically with Navajo business registration, Navajo business site leasing, and business certification processes. And so it's very much like a step-by-step kind of process that the website kind of walks you through what you need to do to get your business registered, or to be certified on Navajo. And it's called buildnavajo.org. And it's something that Change Labs came up with, just to kind of, have information out there, because, in the beginning, I remember we talked about how it was hard to find information out there on exactly what needs to be done, or how to get how to get your business registered, and what are the steps that are needed, what documents are needed. And so we kind of came up with this website to address all of those needs, and to get people connected to all the information to help them get their businesses registered, and to get at least that type of documentation out of the way, and to get things moving along. And yeah, that's a very broad over, or at least that's all of the offerings that we have here at Change Labs. Definitely check out our website, nativestartup.org, to kind of go through all of the, some of the things I might not have mentioned here. But those are all of the things that relate directly to what we are trying to build collectively with all the partnerships, on top of what we've already been doing here at Change Labs.
Hey, does anyone have any questions for Swarovski? Okay.
All right. Well, I guess thank you everyone for joining this call today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or to Christine here at Change Labs, or to the folks over at Dineh Chamber, or Alicia. If you have her contact information, our contact information is usually listed on our website, changelab or nativestartup.org. And so if you want to connect with us or, have a session with I or Christine, we're definitely open to setting this up with you.
Yeah, and you can reach the Dineh Chamber at the on our website as well. DinehChamber.org. Ask any of your questions there. So with that, guys, I think we're gonna end it here. Make sure you join us next week and tell all your friends and family to join us because we'd like to have a large crowd whenever we do these weekly sessions. So thank you. Have a great day.